want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to reignite the economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump. But there is one more reason I'm going to ask you to vote Trump, and it's the most important one. It's the one the media won't talk about, but it's the truth. Donald Trump is the president who will actually unite this country, not through empty words, but through action. Because you know what? Success is unifying.
After much speculation, Trump finally picked his VP, J.D. Vance, a rising news star in the MAGA movement. But what about Vivek Ramaswamy, another incredible newcomer? What's in store for him? Well, it looks like he has two potential paths ahead of him. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about both.
Woo! Vivek 2028! Let's go!
Good to see you, Laura. How you been?
I just lured Jake Tapper.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was so epic.
You're having a field day out here.
I just chased Jake Tapper and I was like, do you condemn Joe Biden calling for Donald Trump to be put in a bullseye? And he refused to answer.
Does that surprise you?
It doesn't, but it's just disgusting, isn't it?
I'm speaking tonight at, 8:30 Eastern.
Yeah. Any words you want to say? Anything you want to tell people?
You know, I actually think that people miss our side, we do want to unite this country. But not in some fake way, like in a true way. We're never going to agree on everything, but I want to disagree like hell and still recognize everybody has the right to say it. And that we still respect each other as citizens. And so I don't like the astroturf fake kumbaya. I like the real thing.
I agree. Hey, I was just going to ask you, now that Senator J.D. Vance has been selected to be VP, there's rumors that you're potentially going to run for his Senate seat. Confirm or deny?
I mean, it's not like a confirm deny thing. I just came up yesterday. I hadn't thought about it. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself how you're going to serve the country. So I want to talk to President Trump, see what I'm going to be able to do to have the biggest impact. Is it through the executive branch? Or now, in light of yesterday's announcement, is it through the legislative branch? And
well, if it's through the Senate, you have my support. You have the support of Loomer Unleashed and the Loomer Unleashed Oppo machine. So it'll be great.
No, thanks. And
we hope to see you either in the Trump admin or Senator Vivek Ramaswamy. That'd be great.
We'll talk to President Trump and figure out what the right path is. So,
all right.
Vivek Ramaswamy is a breath of fresh air in the Republican Party. His clear, articulate vision and ability to communicate conservative values effectively make him a standout figure. Many, including myself, have admired his eloquence and passion, which is why his future in politics is such an exciting topic. Winning in November would leave us without one of our Senate seats. In that case, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, an establishment rhino, would have to select J.D. Vance's replacement in the Senate. Vance was first elected in 2022, with a term slated to end in 2028. Vivek and Vance also know each other personally. They went to Yale Law School together and are ideologically aligned.
News of the day, obviously, is the nomination of somebody who you know pretty well, your former law school classmate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Your reaction?
That's right. I have a different dimension of knowing J.D. for a long time out of politics. We used to watch Cincinnati Bengals games back in law school in New Haven bars. We didn't even talk politics back then. But what I can say is he's a genuine person. He is somebody who actually cares about this country. He's in public service for the right reasons. We grew up not that far from each other, even in Southwest Ohio. And I can say one of the things about my relationship with him is we've agreed on most things, but even when we disagree, we push each other a little bit. And that's so missing in our American politics today is original thinkers who are energetic, who are intelligent, who care about the country. He's been one of the most successful senators, in my opinion. He's probably been our strongest fighter in the Senate. And I think he's going to make for an outstanding vice president. I truly believe that.
The future of the Republican Party looks bright. We really have a great roster of talent this year, and we ought to use it strategically. We have to win the House and the Senate, but in Ohio, we got to pressure DeWine to choose a true MAGA patriot, not a rhino, because Vance's governor-appointed successor would serve until a special election in November of 2026, where voters will decide who will complete the term. So, Vivek announcing that he would consider becoming a senator can give us some leverage in terms of having the power to put pressure on DeWine to choose a MAGA Republican to replace Vance. Vivek's potential to move to the Senate would be a game changer. Although, if I'm being honest, I'd prefer him in the cabinet. But what do I know? I think the man would do great wherever he's appointed. His approach to politics, focusing on pragmatic solutions and unapologetic patriotism, aligns perfectly with the MAGA movement and pushing it forward. Ohio, being a crucial swing state, plays a significant role in national politics. Appointing someone like Vivek to the Senate would help us avoid roadblocks often put up by Romney-type Republicans. That's going to be critical for passing legislation during a potential second Trump term. We have to do whatever it takes to make sure that we don't end up with a bunch of rhinos in the Senate, and Vivek's presence in the Senate would be a significant step towards maintaining the integrity and direction of the MAGA movement in Congress. On the other hand, I think Vivek would make a fantastic addition to Trump's cabinet. He's one of the most inspiring people I've seen in quite some time. And what I really appreciate about him is that he's been working overtime since the primary ended on behalf of our movement, on behalf of President Trump. No one else has been doing such a thing, at least not at the same level. And there's no doubt in my mind that there are great things ahead for this guy. Plus, he's so talented that Trump can really appoint him to a number of positions in the administration, whether it's Homeland Security, Treasury Secretary, or maybe even the Attorney General. He'd be amazing at any of these positions, without a doubt.
Serve this country, and this isn't about what comes after victory. This is about what our path is to victory in November.
To that point, and then I'll move on, but I want to ask you, talk about the ways that you think you can serve former President Trump. Chief of Staff in the White House, is that something that has been brought up to you as a possible role?
We've talked about a lot of different possibilities from the cabinet. President Trump and I have had, we talk regularly. I spoke to him, actually most recently, it was after midnight on the night that he suffered that injury, that tragedy, and the assassination attempt on Saturday night. One of the things I admire about him is he's always strong, he's always energetic. And I think we get along, and we want to save the country together. But that's going to come in a lot of different forms. So we've talked about different ideas potentially in a cabinet to other ways of driving change. And, today I think adds one more development that'll give us a lot to consider.
Let's go back to that conversation that you had with the former president after that assassination attempt against him in Butler, Pennsylvania at that rally on Saturday. Can you give us some insight? We have seen a couple of print interviews that are new out today that he had conducted with a couple of folks who were on the plane as he flew to Milwaukee. Give us some insight into his thinking, into his state of mind at this critical moment.
I think his headspace is exactly where it needs to be, to lead this country, not lead the Republican Party, but to lead the United States of America. Joe Biden did pledge to unite the country. I think it's fair to say that had he succeeded in that, we wouldn't be where we are right now. But I think what we're going to see from Donald Trump in a second term, and even for the remainder of this race, is something far beyond even what we saw in that first term. Success is unifying. Excellence is unifying. And I think Donald Trump is actually going to be the president who will unite this country. And I know that sounds counterintuitive to a lot of people, especially to perhaps this audience. But the reality is unity is not just going to come through words. I think unity will come through action. I think his focus on the economy, his focus on illegal immigration, that unites a lot of different Americans. And the good news is Saturday, what happened was a near tragedy. But if there's one silver lining that comes out of it, and I hope that some silver lining can come out of that tragedy, it can be that all Americans reject this idea of not just political violence, but the idea that you can disagree with somebody vigorously, but still not view them as your enemy, still indeed respect them as a fellow citizen. And do both parties need to do better on that? Absolutely. But I think one of the things we in the Republican Party can do is focus on our own agenda rather than just villainizing the other side.
To those of you watching this at home tonight, I'd like to deliver a message that the media doesn't want you to hear from the Republican Party. Our message to Black Americans is this: the media has tried to convince you for decades that Republicans don't care about your communities, but we do. We want for you what we want for every American: safe neighborhoods, clean streets, good jobs, a better life for your children, and a justice system that treats everyone equally, regardless of your skin color and regardless of your political beliefs. Our message to every legal immigrant in this country is this: you're like my parents. You deserve the opportunity to secure a better life for your children in America. But our message to illegal immigrants is also this: we will return you to your country of origin, not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America was founded on the rule of law. Our message to millennials, speaking as one myself: yes, it's true. Our government sold us a false bill of goods with the Iraq War and the 2008 financial crisis, loading up our national debt that falls on our generation's shoulders, telling us that if we took out college loans, we'd somehow get a head start on the American dream, when it hasn't worked out that way. But we can't just be cynical about our country, because the United States of America is still the last best hope that we have, and we deserve a better class of politician, one who actually tells us the truth, even if it comes with some mean tweets from time to time. And our message to Gen Z is this: you're going to be the generation that actually saves this country. You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative. Say you want to get married, have kids, teach them to believe in God and pledge allegiance to their country. Because you know what? Fear has been infectious in this country, but courage can be contagious too. That too is what it means to be an American. And you know what? If you're at home and you disagree with everything I just said, our message to you is this: we will still defend to the death your right to say it, because that is who we are as Americans. We are the country where we can disagree like hell and still get together at the dinner table at the end of it. That is the America I know. That is the America we miss. We do not have to be ancient Rome. We don't have to be this nation in decline. We can still be a nation in our ascent. A nation whose best days, not in some fake politician way, but in a true way, a nation whose best days are actually still ahead of us. Still on our way to that shining city on a hill, that country where no matter who you are, or where your parents came from, or what your skin color is, or how long your last name is, that you will still get ahead in this country with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, and that you know what? You are free to speak your mind at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what reunited us after the Civil War. That is what won us 2 world wars and the Cold War. That is what still gives hope to the free world. And if we can revive that dream over group identity and victimhood and grievance, then nobody in the world, not a nation, not a corporation, not a virus, not China, is going to defeat us. That is what American exceptionalism is all about. And that is what we will revive this November when we send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. Thank you all. God bless you and your families. And may God bless our United States of America.
Wow. Wow. This speech is a masterclass in political communication and persuasion. Dude's a better communicator than Obama. That's my opinion. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, but that's my opinion. I really haven't seen anyone, apart from maybe Trump, able to articulate our vision for America's future as clearly. I had goosebumps watching this, guys. Can you feel the energy? Did you feel the energy? Wherever Vivek ends up, I'm confident he'll continue to fight for the principles that make America great. I think this guy has the chops to be president one day. I really do. There's a long list of folks that I feel like that about, and he is on that list. he definitely is on that list. It's one of the best political speeches I've ever heard, to be honest with you. As we look forward to the future, it's clear that figures like Vivek Ramaswamy are essential to the continued success and growth of our movement. And I really hope that whether it's Trump or Republicans in Congress, that someone's going to fully utilize Vivek's skill set. He's the future of this party. And I hope that he will at least, or at the very least, be a close advisor to the president. But I want to hear what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, it supports the team. It gives us the ability to produce this type of content on a day-to-day basis. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.